Hey yo, I'd like to give a shout out first to my peeps and my fraternity. You see this? You see that screaming eagle, 101st Airborne Air Assault? Huh. When you know you're the best of the best, then you know you're a 101st Airborne Screaming Eagle. But that's not what this is about. Actually, let's get into that. We're gonna make that what this is about. I was gonna do a video on something else, but this is now about the 101st Airborne being air assault qualified. Got them wings on your chest, best of the best. Other than Special Forces, and Navy SEALs, and Force Recon from, you know, the Marines. And I'm talking about the regular soldiers, or quote regular soldiers. I don't know that there are any regular soldiers. 11 Bravo, 11 Bang Bang. I was 46 Quebec originally, journalist, which is a rare MOS, and then I got reclassified into radio repair. But I had I did really well on the ASVAB, and like I was way up there. When I went into MEPS, which was in Jacksonville, uh, the guy said he had never seen someone ever get as many options as I had based off my ASVAB test alone. So I just it's not about test scores in the military, or who's smarter necessarily. A lot of times it's who gives the most, who puts in the most sweat, who's the most for the man or woman to the left or right of them, who is that down, quote, with the hood team. And so at any rate, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, even Coast Guard. No, I need to stop. I clown on the Coast Guard, but you know so I give it up to those that have worn the fabric of this nation. um, I feel like the USA has, every country has its problem. Every country usually has something in their history they're not proud of. In every culture of humanity, they've had people within it that have been murderers and rapists. It's just, but the military, you know, a lot of us have taken pride in that, and I do as well. It is a cool thing to have been a part of the HU-60, um, or UH-60 Black Hawks, uh, rappelling out of them. Oh man, I got such a rush out of that. That was just so awesome. When you lean out in that L position, way up there, however many, like 90 feet before you about to rappel. It's like in meters in the military. I don't know. So I don't know how far up but I wasn't like a practicing air assault. That would be like 11 Bang Bang, would be someone that's constantly training perhaps in that. I was in a support capacity working with oscilloscopes and frequency generators, spectrum analyzers, knowing properties of the electromagnetic spectrum to include the visible light spectrum. I studied, Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, blue. Oh no, red, orange, yellow, um, green, blue, indigo, and violet. That's the Roy G. Biv, the visible part of the light spectrum. But at any rate, studying aspects of that, the electromagnetic spectrum, was a part of my MOS as a quote radio repair guy. But we called ourselves 35 Echo, 35 everything, because I cross trained into two other MOSs in my Carmel shop. So I was, basically could do, I could repair anything just about that came in the shop. But it's just different levels. Ultimately, in the Army, you're all 11 Bravo. You start out, that's what you learn in basic, is just, they take it further if that's their MOS, and they could get into, like I was, air assault. Well, they have more options, I would feel, to get into air assault and airborne and Ranger school, special forces, Delta Force. I actually met a Delta Force, and, I won't get in, can't get in. But, just you ain't ever gonna meet no Delta Force. And I'm gonna tell you right now, Chuck Norris had no clue. But that is the most elite Delta Force. Navy SEALs, I would say, bow to Delta Force. But air assault, being air assault. And if you have the double stack, you have airborne and air assault wings. That's, to me, I thought that was pretty impressive. I guess it just depends on your perspective. But at any rate, to all the veterans, I salute you. And yeah, I got black on my fingernails. That's to represent the darkness inside of my heart. Hey, once a soldier, always a soldier. Huh.